Hello everyone. So today we are going to start discussing about motion in one dimension. Okay. Motion means change in position. And in order to understand the motion of an object, the first thing which we need is to specify the reference frame. Okay. In general, we always take ground to be the reference frame. Okay. So in order to specify the position of an object, the first thing which we require is the reference axis and the reference point. Okay. So what do we take? We take rectangular coordinate system as reference axis, okay, in which x, y and z are the three coordinate axes which are mutually perpendicular to each other. That is why we call them as rectangular coordinate system, okay. And the point where all these three axes meet, that is what is called as reference point or the origin, okay. Now with respect to this origin, we can specify the position of an object. When I am saying that I am talking about motion in one dimension, then it means that the object is moving along x direction or along y direction or along z direction. Okay, the object is moving just in one dimension. So this is the simplest case. So let us start with this. Okay, now in order to understand the motion of an object, the first quantity which we learn is distance. Okay, what do you mean by distance in physics? By distance, we mean the total path covered by an object. Okay, so we also call this as total path length. Okay, so the definition is the total path covered by an object is called distance. For example, if any object, it moves from point A to point B through this path. This is path 1. Then what will be the distance covered by an object? It will be the total path covered by an object. Okay. But for example, if the object takes another path, path 2, then will the distance remain same or change? It will change, right? Because the total path covered by an object will change. So another important point is that distance depends upon the path taken. Taken by the object. Okay. Now another important thing which we are going to study in detail when I talk about the motion in two dimensions, we will study about scalars and vectors. Okay. In short, just I want to mention here that a quantity is scalar when it is just a number, it has just length. We do not care about the direction, okay, of that parameter. And vectors, we'll see, for example, if an object is moving in two dimensions, right, then we require the knowledge of vectors. Why? I'll come to that. So distance is a scalar quantity. It does not require the information of direction. Okay. So in whatever direction the object is moving, I do not care about in which direction it is moving. I just care about the total distance covered by an object. Okay. Now, and distance will always be positive. Positive. Okay. So now let us take few examples to understand this better. For example, here this is 10 units, 20 units, 30 units. Okay. The object is moving along x direction, right? Now, if the object starts from O and then it moves till here. Let me mark this point as A. So from O to A, what will be the distance covered by an object? If the units is, this is some units, 20 units. Okay. Then object moves further from A to B. Okay. Now the distance covered by an object from O to B, if I want to say, ask from O to B, it will be 30 units. Okay. Now for example, if what the object does, it changes direction and the object moves back till A. And if somebody asks you how much is the total distance covered by an object from O to back to A. So let me call this point as, so from O to A to B back to A. Let me call this point as C. From O to C, the total distance covered will be 40 units. It does not matter whether the object has changed direction or not. Okay, the total path covered by an object. Now the object moves further, you will just keep on adding the distance covered. Now let us take another example. Okay. Example 2. For example, if an object moves in a semicircular path, this is -5 units and this is +5 units. Okay, and the object takes this path from point A to B. Okay, then for path 1, the total distance covered by an object will be this circumference. Okay, half of the circumference from A to B. We all know that the total circumference for a circle is 2 pi r. So the object here is covering from A to B, pi into r. And what is the radius of this circle? 5 units. So it will be 5 pi units. Okay. But instead of this path, if an object takes second path from A to B, okay, from A to B, for path 2, now the path is changed. So the total distance covered by an object will change. So from A to B, the distance will be this 5 units and then this 5 units. It will be 10 units. Okay, I hope this is clear. That distance is whatever path the object takes, the total path covered by an object. Okay, let me take one more example. For example, this is our coordinate system. Okay, 10 units, 20, 30, -10, -20, okay, -30. Let the object move in this direction like this. How much is the distance covered by an object? Let me call this point A, B. Okay, so from A to B, the object cover from here to here 10 units, 20, 30, 40. Okay, 40 units will be the total distance covered by an object. Okay, I hope this concept is clear. The another most important concept which we require to understand the motion of an object is displacement. Okay. Now what do you mean by displacement? Displacement is the shortest path taken by an object. Okay. Another way of saying is that the difference between the final and initial position of an object. Okay. Another important point, displacement has direction. So it has direction. So this is a vector quantity. Okay, we will talk in detail more about scalars and vectors in the upcoming videos. Okay, so these are the key points for displacement. Okay, now for example, suppose at time t1 the object is at point A and then he takes some path and moves to B at t2. Okay, this is the position of an object at A and this is the position of an object at B at later time t2, and then somebody asks you, this is the path 1, how much is the displacement of an object from A to B? So what will you take? The shortest path. You will make a straight line. Okay, this you can represent with an arrow. From A to B, this is the shortest path taken by an object. This will be the displacement of an object. Okay, it does not depend upon the path taken. Does not depend path taken by an object. Okay, if an object takes another path, for example, he goes through path 2, will the displacement change? Displacement is the shortest path, so it does not depend upon the path. It will still remain the shortest path between A and B. So the displacement remains the same if the initial and the final position of an object remains the same. Okay. So if at time t1 the object's position is x1 and at later time t2 if the position is x2, then displacement is denoted by delta x. Delta means change in the position x2 at time t2 minus x1 at time t1. Okay, this is what is called as displacement of an object. Its unit will be again the units of dimensions of length. You can take meter, kilometer, whatever. Now let us see few examples for displacement. Examples of displacement. Okay, let us take similar example as we took for the distance. First example, if we have a coordinate axis, we are taking object is moving in one dimension. Okay, so object is moving only along x direction. But now it is important for us to specify the direction of the motion. So generally what is taken? Towards the right or toward of the x-axis we take the direction to be positive, and toward the left we take direction to be negative. So when the object is moving in one dimension, just by specifying positive or negative sign is sufficient to specify the direction of an object. Okay, but when the object is moving in two dimensions, then that is not sufficient. We need to introduce the idea of vectors. Okay, so if the object is moving towards positive x-axis, so if it started from O and it moved till point A, then how much will be the displacement of an object? The displacement of an object will be plus 20 units. Okay, another way is delta x, final position is 20 minus initial position, again you will get the same answer. Okay, this is how we calculate the displacement of an object. Now the object moves from 20 to 30 at point B. From O to B, the displacement will be plus 30 units. And if somebody asks you from A to B, the displacement will be plus 10 units. But now if an object, it changes direction and this point is C. Okay, so from O to A to B to C, O to C, okay, the object is going like this, going from O to A to B and then reversing back. Okay, then how much will be the displacement? What is the final position? 20 minus initial position is 0. So it will be plus 20 units. Now you see, in this case, when the object has changed direction, the magnitude of displacement is not same as distance. In case of the distance, the total path covered by an object from O to A to B to C is 40 units. But the displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final point. So that is plus 20 units. Okay, and if I take another example, for example, the object moves from C to, let me take this minus 10, from C to D. Okay, let me call this point to be D. So from C to D, the distance will be, the final position is minus 10 minus 20 minus 30 units. This minus sign indicates that the object is moving in negative x direction. Okay? So you cannot specify displacement without the direction. You need to specify the magnitude, number, right, the length, and the sign. Okay? Let us take another example. Let us take the example of, again, the semicircular path. Okay? Only in the cases when the object is not changing direction, the magnitude of distance and displacement will be same. Okay? I think that is obvious from these examples. Now let us take, this is x direction. Okay? The object is moving in a semicircular path. Minus 5 units. This is plus 5 units. Okay? If the object moves from A to B through path 1, okay, then how much will be the displacement of an object from A to B? Shortest path, right? So displacement from A to B, that will be plus 10 units. Okay? In case of distance, the answer was different. But now in case of displacement, it does not matter whether the object is taking this path. The shortest distance between A and B is 10 unit. And in which direction? Towards positive. If I take the second path, this is path 1. If I take path 2, then also the answer is plus 10 units. Does not matter. It just depends upon the initial and the final position of an object. Okay? So this is another example of displacement. Now, if I take a position time graph, okay, then how do we understand the concept of distance and displacement? Let us take position time graph. Okay, this is your x, this is position time graph. So on the y-axis, we always take dependent variable. Okay, so I am taking how the object's position on y-axis, and on x-axis I am taking time. That with time, how the position of an object is changing, that will be given by this graph. So let us take this 10, 20, 30, and this is also 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. The units will be here seconds. Here you can take meters. Okay, you can take anything. Now, if the object goes from here to here, point A, okay, how much will be the distance traveled by an object in 20 seconds? Let me take here, okay, right? So in 20 seconds, the object covered 20 units, plus 20 units. So from O to A, the distance is plus, there is no need to write, 20 units, displacement plus 20 units, correct? Now for 10 seconds, what is the meaning of this graph? Here the time is increasing, but the position of an object is not changing. It means the object is at rest. It did not cover any distance. Okay, then after that, this is point B and this is C. Okay. What is the meaning of this graph? That from O to A, the distance covered is 20. Then from A to B, the object, I'll just, okay, here and this also, just I'll make it a little more symmetric. Okay. Now, so in 20 seconds, the object covered 20 units. From 20 to 30, the object was taking rest. Okay, object was at rest. From 30 to 40 seconds, what did the object do? How much distance the object covered? So from here till here, it is again 20 units. So from O to C, the total distance covered will be 20 plus 20. Here no distance was covered, 40 units. But now you tell me that how much is the displacement from O to C? What is the initial position? 0. What is the final position? 0. So displacement is 0. Okay. It means what? What the object might have done? The object started, it moved in the forward direction, took rest, and then it came back to the original point. So the displacement will be 0. Right? So for example, there is a child which is going from home to school. School is 2 kilometers far away, right? And then the school, it was raining, school got closed, and the child comes back home, right? How much is the total distance covered by a child? 4 kilometers. 2 kilometers going and 2 kilometers back. How much is the displacement of the child? 0. Right? So displacement depends only on the initial and the final point, whereas distance will be total path covered by an object. Okay. So we'll talk more about how fast. Now next, what is important? That how fast or slow the position of an object is changing with time. Okay. So the next thing which we are going to do is to understand or the graphical representation of position time graph. Okay. So let us understand that. Graphical representation of position time graph. Okay. So the first graph is, for example, if I draw x and time, okay, and the graph is like this. What is the meaning of this graph? That as the time is changing, the position, the y-axis represents the position of an object, right? The position of the object is not changing. This shows object is at rest. Okay. The second graph, if I take x and t, okay, x is the position of an object. Units will be, you can take some units, meters, whatever, and time you can take in seconds. Okay, units, you can take anything, I am writing in general. Okay, what is the meaning of this graph? The object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. Okay, this is origin 0. Object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. What is the meaning of that? I give an example. For example, you are driving a car, okay, and you are covering, for example, 5 kilometers in 1 hour, okay, or 50 kilometers, 5 will too less, 50 kilometers in 1 hour, then next 50 kilometers in 1 hour, next 50 kilometers in 1 hour. Object is covering equal distance in equal intervals of time. We'll try to understand what's the meaning of this. But from the position time graph, in terms of the distance, it covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. Okay. Next, if I have this kind of a graph, position time graph, what is the meaning of this graph? That the object covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time. Okay. So for example, in 1 hour it has covered 50, but in the next half an hour it has covered 50, right? the amount of distance covered in equal intervals of time is different. It is increasing. Okay, the object is covering more distance in equal intervals of time. Okay, what is the meaning of that? When that can happen? Or if I take the graph like this, when the object is covering again unequal distance, but eventually the object is it is becoming straight, the object is coming to rest. Okay, so the object is covering less amount of distance in equal intervals of time. Okay, so here in both these graphs, objects cover unequal distance. In equal intervals of time. Okay, we are going to give names to these concepts that, so basically here what we are trying to understand is that how fast or how slow the object's position is changing with time. Okay, that would be the topic of our next lecture. Okay, thank you.